Welcome back, my business besties. I hope that you are well. Today, we're talking about something that I kind of can't believe I've never talked to you about on this podcast, and it is raising your rates. I'm doing polls over on my free Facebook group and Instagram, and you're telling me that this is hard. And so I want you to leave this conversation, and you will leave this conversation feeling that you know your worth and that you feel very confident raising your rates. Are you ready? For my American friends, this is more of a private pay conversation. In Canada, I was private pay only. If you're in network, obviously it's different, but this is when people are paying you at the end of the session. Here's the thing. It is not about price, but about value. Let's just talk about that for a second. If somebody values therapy and we're selling, quote unquote, life transformation. Have you ever been to therapy? Did your life change? Did you heal your heart after that breakup? Did you sleep again after not sleeping? Did you fix that anxiety, quote unquote? Did you feel better in your body with your self-worth? Yes, that is life changing. So it's really not about the number, my friends. It is about value. If they see value, they will come up with the money. Here's an example. There are teenagers in this very moment that are skipping lunch to pay for the iPhone because they value the iPhone and they're going to make it work. So when you're on your consult call, you really want to lean in to value. And then here's what's amazing is when you increase your rate and it matches the value, you will attract more motivated clients that actually show up. Your cancellation rate will go down when you increase your rate, and they do the homework. It's so interesting. Even in the McCants method, when I charge for something, people work harder compared to if it's free. This is across the board. It is everywhere. Even think of yourself. If you pay for a gym membership, you're going to show up, you're going to work hard, as opposed to, oh, it's free, come anytime. You'd probably not go at all. That means if on Psychology Today, I'm scrolling and I see your profile and you have the lowest rate, are you ready for it? You're seen as the least valuable. What? Is your mind blown right now? It is true. I'm actually going to share a study with you in a second. But a lot of you are coming from a place, and I felt that way too, of, well, Nicole, I'm not super busy. So if I charge more, then no one's going to come. What if that's completely the opposite? What if you charged more, you were seen as more valuable, and people stopped the scroll on Psychology Today? If you don't believe me, here's a study. There was 3 bottles of wine, and they did a study for people. They put the prices. So one was cheap wine. Nobody likes cheap wine. One was like medium, and one was an expensive bottle of wine. You couldn't see what was in the wine bottle. There was no label. You had no idea. And you did a taste test. So these people were doing the taste test. Guess which one they valued the most? All they had was price, and they tasted the wine. The majority of people picked, you guessed it, the most expensive one. But wait, guess what? It was all the same bottle of wine, guys. It was a test that it was the same bottle of wine. They just put it in 3 different bottles and 3 different prices. And people said, oh my gosh, this one is better. The word is perceived value. You were perceived as more valuable. I'll give you an example. I was looking for a therapist for myself. I was looking through Psychology Today, just at all the profiles, and I help you guys with your Psychology Today. So partly I was also just checking out therapists. And there was a therapist, because I wanted an IFS one, who had a wait list. And so I couldn't see her right away. It was so interesting. Immediately, guess who I wanted to see? Her. I'm like, I just noticed that, like, scarcity mentality. People will want you more if you have a wait list. People will want you more if you charge more. It's just the way we are built. And eventually you're going to hire. I'm going to help you hire. If you want to hire, this is probably why you're listening to me, you need to increase your rate, because it's going to have, even though people will also want to see you more, you're going to be seen as more valuable. We're going to take you off of the online booking. We want to motivate people to see other people on your team. So if you feel badly, I believe you should have what I did is my rate was $275 per hour. I didn't have a sliding scale in the clinic at all, but I did have a reduced intern rate at $125. So I felt really good about that. People were motivated to see my interns, particularly because they were supervised by me. So there's many ways you can do it. And I'm going to be talking today about increasing your rate. By the time you hear this, it's October. I suggest that you increase your rate January 1st. I suggest that you give people about 6 to 8 weeks notice. So soon it's going to be November. That's 2 months, right? So I'm thinking you want to put a reminder to do this. And if you have a group, I would increase all of your rates. That's what we did. Every year in January, it's actually expected. People expect it. Almost everyone I know, including my accountant, increases the rate. I get an email and it's just like, we increased it by $5 or $10. If you're in solo practice, you're going to increase your rate January 1st. You're going to give them 6 to 8 weeks notice. You're going to increase it by $5 or $10. And if you're in a group, then you're going to increase everybody else's rate as well. The most beautiful thing is once you do that, you pay them 60% if they're fully licensed, 50% if they're pre-licensed or qualifying, we call it in Canada. They get a bump too, don't they, in their pay, because the pie just got bigger and they get a percentage of that pie because you increased your rate. Not only are you seen as more valuable if you increase your rate, but your general clinic and the brand is seen as more valuable. Research just shows and tells us you attract more needy clients if you have a low rate. Who do you think gets more customer service calls, Walmart or Gucci? Now, I'm not saying you have to be as expensive as Gucci, but let me tell you, you're going to attract a different type of person who is motivated, who shows up, and who probably tells their friends. But there's more. Not only does it boost the value of the brand, but now you have more cash flow. We're going to talk numbers in a second, how much this is going to actually bring in. You have more cash money coming in, which means you can attract and afford the best therapists and retain them. I never say to pay more. Please don't ever pay more than 60% because I want you to be highly profitable, and group practices are expensive. So that 40% is not profit, right? You need to pay all the other things. But just know that if you're charging more, then they're getting paid well and they're going to stay. Now let's talk for a second about mindset. I know that this feels scary, but I want you to ask yourself, are you coming from a place of scarcity or abundance? What would you do if you knew that it would not make a difference? It would actually attract better quality, motivated clients, really coming from a place of abundance. And that's what you're putting out to the universe. And that's what you're bringing back. Let's do the math. If you see 15 clients a week, and if you raise your rate by $10, you will make this month, let's pretend you did it this month, $600 more. And then you can feed that into your business and grow a group practice. Or, my friend, you could save it and book a trip because you deserve it. Is it possible that some clients that you lose, a couple of clients? Maybe. But here's the thing. Maybe it's okay to lose those clients because maybe they're not your ideal clients, but you just got a bump in your revenue of $600, which means you may not even feel it if 2 clients stop coming because you're bringing in just more money. Do you see that? Let's talk for a second about mirror neurons. Today's podcast is called Confidence. You want to feel this in your bones that This is a service that will change their life. Think of your own therapy. Please make sure you do your own therapy. That's the only way we can believe in what we're doing, because we know that it's changed us. And so when you show up on that consult call and you drop the number, you say it so confidently. Mirror neurons, do you remember those? If you're feeling doubt, guess what? They will also pick up on that, even on a Zoom call. Practice the script, practice saying it confidently, the value and the worth, and before you know it, you'll double the amount of yeses. Now back to some logistics. I would suggest giving them 6 to 8 weeks. Our college, we call it a college in Canada, our licensing board, it doesn't really tell us how much time we have to give people. I just want them to have time. They might need to save a bit. They might need to manage things. Let's give them 6 to 8 weeks. And all I did was send out an email. Just send out an email. And if you don't treat, this is really key, if you don't treat it like a big deal, it won't be a big deal. We also had it a little poster, like a standing poster on the desk in the waiting room, just in case anybody had questions. There was a note there with the date, and that is it. Remember, it is expected. All industries do this, and now it's your turn. A question I get a lot in coaching is, should I only do it for new clients and keep all my existing clients at their current rate because they're kind of like grandfathered into the old rate? No. I mean, you can. I don't suggest it. I love easy. I love clean and streamlined. If you give everybody enough notice, then I believe everybody should just change. It's just going to cost you more in admin and accounting. If you have multiple rates, honestly, keep it easy, keep it streamlined. I would bump everybody all at once. Now, life gets busy and we forget. You're hearing this in October. I would put a reminder right now for every October, starting to prep for this. This is where you draft the email and then you have it scheduled to go out November 1st. So you give them a full 8 weeks. You're going to bump everybody by $5 or $10. If you've not raised your rates in a while, I would do $10. I'll give you an example. I didn't raise my rates for a couple of years. I kind of forgot. This is why I'm telling you. It's crazy how we forget. Then I increased it by $25. I was $250. I went to $275. My therapists were $150. They went to $175. Okay. So it's also really important that you are a lot more expensive, especially if you have a group. I'm speaking to my group people or my aspiring group practice owners. I was $100 more than my other fully licensed therapists. There was a reason. The moment you are a clinic director, CEO, there's a premium to see you. And to be honest, I increased my rate because I didn't want to see as many clients. So there will come a time where you want to motivate people to see your therapist. And by the way, you're going to be seen as highly valuable. So people still will pay a premium to see you. So eventually we're going to have to take you off the online booking and just not promote you at all so you can guide your team and get them busy. How do you feel? Do you have all the logistics so you know when to do it, you know how much to do it by? You're going to put a reminder to do it every single year, and remember that it is expected. And also do the math. So I did math based on just $10, 15 clients a week for 4 weeks. That's $600. So do your own math. I do think you should use this math, which is $10 of an increase, depending on how many clients that you see. Do the math and just know, wait a minute, if I lose a few, it's not a big deal because I'm actually going to be making more money. So it'll all come out in the wash. And just remember how powerful you are, my friend, that you are constantly creating your reality and broadcasting out signals, right, into this quantum field that is mirroring back everything to you. See it go easy in your mind, and it will go very easy and unfold perfectly. Thank you, by the way, for sending this. I know a lot of you are sharing this and coming from a place of abundance and sharing with therapists. This is one that I ask you to share. I know you know a therapist that is not charging their worth. Will you share it with her? Will you share it with him? Let's inspire everyone together to ask for more because it's what they deserve. And I'll see you next week.